Hey Soul Tribers, how are you? Sending you the purest of love and light. Yes, we're protected, we're safe. God is for us. And because He is, who can be against us? So welcome. If it's your first time returning Soul Tribers, new Soul Tribers, thank you for your love and your support. I truly appreciate you. So let's get into these messages quickly. It says, they cannot hide your gift. So if anyone, or you may have had people who wanted to hide your gift, they can't. Anyone who did love spells on you, it failed. They are now obsessed. For some of you, there could have been a dark practitioner as well who was working against you. Yeah, it's like everything is now out in the open. A tower. Everything is exposed. That what people were doing. You know the truth. You know, this is like a sudden upheaval, a shake-up. Some truth came to light about what people were trying to do to you. For a lot of you, yeah, you broke generational curses. So again, maybe your ancestors, you know, there was a long thing in your lineage where people were able to subdue them with witchcraft. They were in toxic relationships because people were able to bind them to partners where they were not suitable for them. It's like they're unequally yoked. It's like you look at some people, and even though in your families or in our families you could have had grandparents or parents, or you see aunts and uncles, whomever, they probably stayed in those relationships up until death, but they were miserable. They were not loved correctly. It's like they settled basically. They tolerated somebody because maybe they were too scared to leave, or because, you know, there was something that binded them or had them bound. But the love and the affection was not mutual. And I mean, we have seen it, and it's still been done, where people, for their own selfish reasons, you know, you may have a person who is doing well, meet whether a man or a woman, and because the person who doesn't have it, either them or their family will try to do something to bind themselves to the person who has it. Not because maybe they really love them, but because of the benefits. Because of the benefits, they will support the family. They know that their son or their daughter or whomever, they will have somebody to take care of them. And so it's kind of like desperate time called for desperate measure. And so a lot of people get caught up this way. And a lot of our ancestors, they really settled. They were not happy. And for some of you, a part of whether it's karma or justice in breaking generational curses is not settling. You're not settling with anyone, any partner who lies, cheats. You're unequally yoked. People who are trying to tear you down, sabotage you. You're not staying in those connections. And for a lot of you, because of the gift that you have, even in the beginning, if you were not aware of it, but as you become more in tune to your calling and who you are, and as you are breaking those curses again, you will see when you leave people, you will actually realize that it was a love spell, because you don't have anything in common with that person. It's like they glamour themselves to look and for you to be attracted or addicted to them. And a lot of these narcissists and a lot of people who were probably sent towards us with that trickster spirit, this is how they were able to manipulate, or this is how they're able to manipulate us. It's kind of like this, you know, you get into this, I don't know, it's like this sugar rush, this high, where it's like you want to see the person, you want to talk to them. Again, even if they're treating you awful, you're so loyal, so faithful, because a lot of them, sometimes they're able to do that. If they did it themselves or maybe their family did it, It's like they could get away with it because it's like you're not going anywhere. But for a lot of you, the mantle is passed to you because a lot of our ancestors, they were not willing to do it. They were not able to do it for whatever reasons. And now it is your task to do this. So there could have been a lot of witchcraft done on your family to oppress, to suppress, to block real love, for you just to entertain people who are players, people who are takers, people who are users, manipulators, for you to get stuck and settle and be inside pieces and all of these things. Is like, no. And even if you're with somebody, like I said, you're not happy. But a lot of you broke those. It says the witchcraft, it never works. So whatever this dark practitioner or these dark practitioners were doing, it didn't work. It never worked. For some of you people, you need to know the shut up spell backfire, the death magic reverse. Yeah, it's like a lot of people know they want to run, but it says they can run, but they can't hide. A lot of people are on the run now, but the truth is that they cannot hide from what they have already done. Whatever it is that witchcraft that people they did, some of them, they may even want to come back to you to apologize, but the damage is already done. Whatever it is that people were trying to do to you, need to know the spirit of lack, stagnancy, and delays broken from over your life. Curse over your love life is also broken. And the truth is not, you're not broke, you're not in poverty. A lot of you now, you're now people's worst nightmare. And anybody who paid people to come towards you to hurt you, it didn't work either. It didn't work. You understand? A lot of you, you're going in your season of prosperity. Everything that the enemy didn't want you to have, you will have that and some. True love. You're going to speak your truth. You're not going to be sick. You shall not die, but live to declare the works of the Lord. So it's going to be reversed. So because a lot of these things are reversed, because what it was sent out for, it was not accomplished. Well, guess what? This is why these entities, these practitioners, dark practitioners, they're now trying to get out of Dodge. They're trying to disassociate themselves from whomever they used to work with. Or people may say, well, I didn't do it. Yeah, but you paid somebody to do it. It's an energetic exchange. You gave them your money and they did the work. So they cannot get away from karma. They can't get away from vengeance. I mean, it's coming back. It's coming back. The witchcraft, it didn't work. It never worked. And so for a lot of you, where people wanted to hide your gift, it says here anchor. But here it says afraid to move on and stay stagnant. Let go of the past, instability, unchange, adrift, and losing motivation, stubbornness. So a lot of people wanted you to be afraid to move on. It's like the spirit of fear was projected your way. All because they wanted you to hide your gift. They didn't want people to see you. They wanted to hide you from the world. They didn't want to see you move on. They wanted you to be stuck and stagnant in one place, one location, basically. See, for the love spells, they wanted you to be with people who were full of empty promises, lost, superficial, easily persuaded, vulnerable, detached, fragile. So basically they wanted to send people to you, or for you to entertain relationships that were superficial. People only care about how you look. It's like empty promises. Their word was not their bond. It's like they just talk sweet nothing. Things that you want to hear, but it never come to pass. They wanted you to lower your standard where you were easily persuaded. It's like, this is what I'm saying. This is what love spell does. It weakens your defense. And the truth is, soul tribers, if we are honest, for those of you who this part resonate with, when these curses or spells are broken off of your life, when you look back at the pictures of these people, when you look in their face, you're like, how on earth did I get here? What did I see in this person? People were able to run some game on you that you're like, oh my God, if it was now, if I knew then what I know now, oh my God, I would crush them like a bug. And this is where that part comes in, where sometimes we can become very angry with ourselves. And so it's important for us to forgive ourselves, because the truth is that we didn't know that this is what these people were doing. They were glamoring themselves to come off as something else. It's like, you just give up to the world. It's like, and I mean, because they have no conscience. It's like taking candy from a baby, because it's like they weaken you, and then they come to you and says, can I have this? Or they treat you or talk to you some kind of way, and they know that they have you helpless. It's kind of like after they cut off Samson's hair, the hair off of his head, and then they start beating him, knowing well that, and they have him in chains. He can't defend himself. This is exactly what these people did to us. So they wanted you to be fragile and vulnerable. Lost. Just lost. I mean, look at her. Just lost somewhere out there. It's like they have you like a puppet on a string, basically. It's like they didn't want the best for you. They didn't mean the best for you at all. Like I said, there could have been, a dark practitioner that was sent to you. Like it says here, devouring mother. Somebody devour means to eat up, to destroy, who you are, basically. Cruel, gaslight, hateful. They wanted you to be codependent, guilt trip you. This is what they wanted, but it didn't work. Because on the opposite side, it says space for growth and independence, protective, loving, supportive, nurturing, acknowledges child's need for individuality. So where people wanted you to tolerate people who were selfish, people who were emotionally manipulative, they play games, those sweet boy or pretty girls or whatever, people who basically gaslight you. They tell you lies, and even if you tell them the sky is blue, they will swear to God that no, it's purple. They're hateful and they never apologize. People who guilt trip you. So it's like, they know how to tug at your heartstring and you give in to them. This is what this person are devouring. So it could have been even a female who they had, who was trying to do this, a dark practitioner. But instead you grew from it. You are independent. You're protecting yourself. You're loving yourself. You're nurturing yourself. You're acknowledging who you are. You know who you are. So this is why it didn't work. Whatever this witchcraft, and now the witchcraft is, the dark practitioner, the people who did it, they're on the run now. Yeah, it's like everything is now out in the open. With the tower here, people, everything is thrown on full display. So it's nothing is hiding. Now you know what people, if you didn't know, well, now you know that people were trying to hide your gift. They don't want the world to see us, to hear us. They want to block our shine. The tower, worth the effort. It's like if people were trying to create even tower into your life, like to have upheaval or have chaos in your life, a lot of you, it was worth the effort. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Knowing your dedication will lead to rewarding discoveries. So a lot of you had a lot of setbacks, a lot of delays, because the truth is, if people are trying to hide your gifts, whatever it is that you're working on, people you're working with, they're going to try to find those people to tell lies, to gossip, so that people will see you in a different light. We have a platform. They're going to complain. They're going to try to block it. They're going to try to stop it because they want to get us frustrated to stop. And it's like, even with my channel, I don't care, because what I do is for God. And even if it's only a few people who see those messages, thank you for subscribing, even for those few messages. And it was meant to find you and you alone, whomever you are. So the truth is that it's worth the effort. It's worth the effort, one step at a time. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. So it's like, you think about it, it's like you're going up a hill and people keep adding on burdens and stress, and you're still pushing through by the help and the grace of God. Do not give up, do not give in, because the truth is, this is what they want. They want us to walk away from whatever it is that you're working on, because they don't want anybody to hear you. They don't want anybody to see you. See, when we know the truth sets us free. And this is why this tower is here, to clear up all the confusion, so we can see exactly what people are thinking, what people are planning. This is what we need to do. So it's like, yeah, listen, just listen to when Spirit speak. Listen, trust God. Spirit speaks. Seek advice to steer judgment, as insightful talks illuminate your journey. So for a lot of you, this is how you were able to break those generational curses, because you listen to God. You trust Spirit. You trust Spirit when He talks to you. You listen. And this comes in over time when you fine-tune your intuition as well. And people will try to come after that. But again, your intuition saved your life, broke those generational curses, because you listen. You know, God, His word, He says, my sheep, they hear my voice, they know me. Because you have a relationship with God. You are chosen. You're called for this. You are the one that is like here to break those curses. And you listen to God, and it's like, you know, this is why you're here, a lot of you, because you did not succumb to all the things that your ancestors dealt with, or the things they tolerated. And even though you're breaking those generational curses, you'll have people in your family who are settling and tolerating just to have a piece of man or a piece of woman, or for the bare minimum of life. And if you are the one breaking the curses, and they're going to be upset with you because you decide you're not going to settle for that job, you're not going to settle for piece of man, you're not going to tolerate negative, abusive people or person, anybody who try to sabotage you, you're not going to deal with it. And then you still have, you're going under the stress and the pressure of spiritual warfare, and then you have your own people in your own lineage who are coming up against you as well. So this is not for the faint of heart, because you definitely have to have a relationship with divine, so that when He says go, move, stop, left, right, you are in tune, because it's only you and God, only you and Spirit. So you could have been you could have been going through a lot. You could have been going through a lot. See, it's like whomever they are, and for some of these too, you could have also had dark practitioners even in your own family who were keeping down one side of the family so that the other side could be on top. And so they didn't want you to even break those curses, because that's how they thought it should continue for generation to come. And they can laugh at, whether it's your mother's side or your father's side or whomever. because they feel as if they're better than, knowing darn well that they are the ones. And the truth is that a lot of these, you may have family members, and for example, you have cousins or whomever, and their mother, their father, before they die, they told them what to do, because they already got readings, and they're the ones who kept down your mother, your father's side of the family. So the opposite side already told whomever they can trust in their lineage. Because if you're over here breaking curses, that means there is somebody over the other side who is creating curses. And so they already confide in somebody to continue the legacy while they are gone. They already gave somebody the heads up as to what is going on your side of the lineage, especially if you grew up in a family where there is like friction between one side versus the other. Your grandmother, with her sister or her brother, whomever it is, your mother with her sister's side of family. It's like, and then you'll have on your mother's side of the family, everybody is struggling, or your father, take it however it resonates. It's like they just look as if they can't make it. And on the other side, they love to look at you like poor thing and feel as if they're sorry for you. But see, the truth is that when you decide to pick up the mantle and not cower, but step up to the plate and break these generational curses, then it's like now everything is falling back onto the other side. Again, the wheel shift. They are now at the bottom. They are now at the bottom. It's like for a long time, my grandmother's sister on their side of the family, they were able to celebrate, and they would look down on my grandmother's side of the family as if, they are less than. Because the truth is that, and it's like, I was saying to somebody the other day, whether we believe it or not, again, light and dark, good and bad, it exists. We don't have to, dwell on it, but it's there. It's there. And I think I've shared before, maybe last year or the year before, how for a long time, my grandmother, she was doing very well, and her sister, they were selling the marketplace. And, but that sister was very jealous because she would have to credit things from my grandmother's shop. And even now, her children will talk about, when they were growing up, they didn't have it. My grandmother had it. And in order to stop my grandmother, they would sell in the market. Her sister took some white things and pour it on like they call it a stall, where they would sleep, and during the daytime they would put the produce, the potatoes and the yam, whatever they have, they would put it on there while they were busy taking out the things from the truck. My grandmother's sister hurried into the market and poured it on where my grandmother's section is. And when my grandmother went there, saw the white substance, she asked the other sellers, "What is this?" They said, "It's your own that did it." My grandmother's life changed since that day. She told me she never went back to the city to sell anymore. People who credited produce from her, she had to ask strangers to collect the money for her. She lost interest in going to the marketplace. And from then, that sister is now on a high. And that is the same sister of my grandmother, who, her daughter now, when I met this guy out of the blue, and again, we have to be careful how people come in our life when there are certain blessings when we don't even know it. Again, there are 10 steps ahead. And I used to remember she would come and say, she's going to this church where you can just walk in and the pastor would just tell you about your life. And I was never interested in doing that. Because to me, I value privacy. I would never want to just walk into a building and somebody just look at me and good or bad, this is going to happen in your life, that is going to happen in your life. No, God is a God of order. Don't tell me my business in public. like that. And I just was never interested. And this is somebody who by mistake, she used her phone and took a picture of me. And this is how people are able to take your information and all of this to these dark practitioners, have them look into your life. And then out of the blue, she was busy working. Then she all of a sudden, she only have one job. She wanted to do something part-time with me. And I saw she wasn't really into what I was doing. But it was just about the time when I met this person. And just as we were talking, and again, in my naivety, I would give her the phone and like say hi to so-and-so. And by the time, this person came to visit me, out of the blue again. She never came to where I live, but she wanted to come, and that's when she gave him her number, because for whatever reason, I guess whatever she got read in, whatever she was told by a practitioner, there is a connection or something that I'm coming into, and it's like she needed to intercept that. And this is exactly what she did, but it's like I thank her for taking out the trash. Because sometimes, it's like God will send these imposters into our life just so that greedy people can come and take them away, because they think, I'm giving it to you, I'm hurting you, and they're dragging the poison out of your life. So it does exist. And it's like now when all of these curses and everything are backfired, my grandmother's sister side of family, yes, the grandson, unaliving people, going to prison, have mental illness and all of this garbage. When in the past, all of these things were happening to my grandmother's side of the family. It's like the table has been turned. And so it's important to look within and around us, because at the same time we are breaking generational curses, and then we have other people in our bloodline who don't want us to break it because they are the ones creating it, or they are the ones who started it in the first place. So it didn't work. So it took like a village. It's a staff, a team of them. Overuse of power and authority, losing wealth and focus in life, too much expectation and pressure. So it's a team of these people who were focused too much, overuse of power. This is like an empire in reverse here. They were abusive of their power, and they're losing. These people are losing wealth. It's like their focus was on their life too much, on wealth and riches and all of these things. And it's like now everything is burned to shreds. Everything is burned to shreds with these people. It didn't work. It didn't work. Nothing is like, even if it worked for a while, it broke. It broke. And this is why it's important. If we're going to attract people into our life, let it happen naturally. Forced meal is no meal at all. To me, these spells are like birth control. You have to be on top of them every single day. Because when a day comes when you don't remember what is going to happen. What happened when you're at the airport? What happened when you're in the hospital and you don't have it, can't do it? Then the veil and the scales start falling off people's eyes. And this is when people start looking around and, hey, you understand? My African ancestors, they would say, hey, oh, hey. It's like, come on. So it's like, because people wanted to shut you up, and it's reverse. The shut up spell reverse. Here, the shut up spell reverse. Because the thing is that you're an achiever. You're a high achiever. You're making and checking off lists. Founder of clubs and groups. High goals, beating records, making tough decisions, and people don't like it. Or people didn't like it. So this is why they wanted to hide your gifts. But they cannot hide your gifts. People, that's what I'm saying. Don't be naive. Don't be gullible. A lot of people, they already run ahead and try to run a report. Do something in the background. They know. They see what you're about. And it's like, they are trying to stop it and block it. People see that you're independent, you're able to make tough decisions, you're setting goals and you're breaking records. You're making and you're checking off lists. People acknowledge who you are. This reminds me of like the high on our card in the Kipper deck. This is who you are, and this is why they want to shut you up. So for a lot of you, your gift could be in communication. Even if you're doing reading, you need to speak. And this is why they want to block you. They don't want people to see you. They don't want the truth to come out either. This is what it is. And then they could have sent death magic. So it's a lot of things. We have love spell, we have shut off spell, we have death spell, we have the dark practitioner up here. You know, you broke generational curses, a tower came in. So there's like, you know, a sudden exposure, a sudden shake up. So that you could embrace who you are. Keep going. Let us keep going. People wanted to make it seem as if we're not trying, we're not doing enough, or they want you to work harder. They want us to get frustrated and to give up. The race is not for the swift. The battle is not for the strong, but it's for those who endure to the end. And it's not over until God says it's over. But we're not going to let anybody force us away. Because like I said before, the truth is that if we know that what we are doing for God, then the numbers really don't matter. It matters, but it doesn't matter. And as for me, I know where my help comes from. And it comes from God who made heaven and earth. So people can't try to shortchange me. And so because I know what my calling and my purpose is, on that day when I put out a video, there may only be a few people that God wanted to see that message. And that should be okay with me. Because at the end of the day, God takes care of me. This is not about a popularity contest. I know we want the bills to be made, but I can guarantee you that only what we do for Christ will last. We never do anything for God and we suffer. Even if it comes down to the last minute, He will make a way out of no way for us. I know what I'm talking about. And so this is why, you know, with all of this, you know, trying to it's like people give up, save your energy. I'm telling you, people who have been paying to do witchcraft, you're gonna need that money one day. I can guarantee you. One day you're gonna sit down and you're gonna look at your life and your wicked and sinful ways, and you're going to wish you didn't. You waste your time, you waste your money. It's like sometimes I think about it, I'm like, oh my goodness. I pity the female who carried for 9 months something, or who they thought was someone, and then go through that hard labor to get that thing outside of their body, and then nurture them, feed them, spend time, and then only to know you come on this earth to do wickedness, evil. This is what you're here for. This is what you're here for. If your mother is dead, I'm sure she's turning in the grave. And if they're alive, they probably regret having you, but they probably will be afraid to tell you. You should be ashamed of yourself. You came all this way, and people invest time and energy into bringing you forth here, and for you just to become here to work for the devil. Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine. I won't either. So the death magic reverse, protect yourself. Sometimes to protect oneself, the bravest, I guess, tactic is to walk away. Yeah, protect yourself. So for a lot of you, you were able, spirit talked to you. You left some people, you left them. These people who are doing death spells and all of these things, and you're here to break those generational curses from the love spell. You walk away from those people. The best way to protect yourself, keep yourself out of jail. Because a lot of these people, they were doing too much. That, if you were to do what they were doing to you, some of them could have been trying to push your button because they wanted you to go to prison too. So you had to be the bigger man or woman and walk away and leave it alone. It's like you realize, you know what? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's like just to have your peace alone, your sanity, that's enough. I will start over wherever I am, wherever I go. There got to be better than this. And so this is what you did. This is exactly what you did. And now these people, I'm telling you, they are on the run. They're trying to run away from God, but they can't hide from God. You understand? They can't. They're exploring. People are looking to see where they should go. You understand? People are looking to see where they can go. They're curious as to where they can run away to. Trying to explore different places and, all of these things. Is like these people trying to deport themselves, but it's like they can't. Where can we go that God cannot find us? Yeah, so it's like a lot of people, they're in shambles. The truth is that you're a star. You're meant to be seen. This is why people wanted to stop and block you. They want to hold you back, to be stagnant. They don't want you to break the generational curse. I'm telling you, a lot of us, from the time you were small, even people in your family, like I've shared before, even in my family, from when I was a child, even in church, they're praying for people. My grandmother would get me to come to put my hands on people to pray for them. I would go to people's homes after church with them, not the adults who were praying. I was able to get dreams, and you wake up in the morning, tell my grandmother, and the very same thing play out in before the day was done. So there were people in my family who saw my gift. And it's like when I'm going through this awakening, this process, and I started to think like, what happened? Because then after a while, everything just went quiet. People tried to hide because, and like I said, that sister too that my grandmother had, she was really creepy, very weird. Her eyes, when I look into her eyes, and it's like, it just come to me the other day, like, I've always been looking in people's eyes. They were very cold. It's like gray in her eyes. And it's like she didn't want me to see who she is or what she has inside of you. And I remember my grandmother, she told me some things when I grew up, and it's like some things have come to pass, and I'm thinking, did these people try to really, like whatever cloud, whatever veil they put so that I wouldn't be able to see them? And even today, this is why these entities, they're working so hard, because they want to, to block the communication from God. But the truth is that for such a time as this, and it reminds me too, when Jesus was 12 years old, how he was there in the temple teaching. And then after that, everything went quiet. We didn't hear anything about him until he popped out back on the scene when he was adult. So for those of us who, even if people try to interfere with our gifts when we were younger, the truth is that what they meant for harm, God used it for good. Because God was saving us for such a time as this. But see, when we come into our gifts, we have to awaken this when we're breaking these generational curses. And then little by little, the scales start to roll off from our eyes and we come into our purpose. And then everything now is stirred up and it's awakened. So it's like God laid us dormant, our gifts inside of us, for such a time as this. Because only God knows what would have happened if we were walking around younger, doing this and saying that. Maybe the enemies would want to take us out even earlier, right? So it's like, yes, all is well. All is well. It's like you are the star. The Lord is my shepherd. Oh, so the Lord is my shepherd. Really, what I meant to say, the Lord is my light. Well, He's my shepherd. He's yours too. But really, what I meant to read, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Right? And it goes on into the Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? So because God is our light, He paves the path. He's our Savior. He's our everything. We fear no one. We fear nothing. So this is why these spells could not work. Be your own best friend. So it's like this person, these people couldn't devour you. When the wicked and the enemies and the foes came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. So because of that, for a lot of you, a lot of us, you may be a little bit jaded because it's like you realize sometimes even people who don't know you can be bought and sold to come against you. So you are your own best friend. You keep your secret, your business to yourself, and that's it. Lessons well learned. So whatever you learned in this tower process and embracing your challenges as opportunity to grow, lessons well learned. Lessons well learned. When you keep going, that build endurance, stamina, perseverance. In the end, even though it's painful now, but in the end, trust me, you will see how, it really benefits you and you become so much more stronger spiritually. Yeah, it's like these people, we're calling them out. They're exposed. We're breaking generational curses and we're calling them out. So remember, this is a staff. The whomever came against us, the witchcraft never worked. It says your neighbors and community are embarrassed for their involvement to destroy you. So it's a group of people, and this is why it's hard. It's like trusting people. You're now your own best friend because the very people you thought who are around you, these are the people who came upon you to destroy you. Wow. You overcame. That's it. Whatever the shut up spell is, you overcame that. You're victorious, not a victim. You're a high achiever. Keep going. People try to end your money. This is what they were doing all along with this death spell too. It could have, people wanted to create endings in different areas of your life. The truth is you're chosen. And this is why for a lot of you, a lot of us, people have gone through less things in their life and they're not here to tell the story. And the reason why they couldn't hurt us, it's because of the calling on our life. We're chosen. We're an empath. We're a generational curse breaker. And it's like as long as we do not give up on ourselves, as long as you didn't give up on yourself, then you're bound to win. Because the truth is that God didn't give up on us. But we need to have the courage to persevere, to learn the lessons, to have this unbreakable mentality. When you're strong mentally, people want where people would fall. I mean, this is why I said that some people do some really mean and shysty things to us where when they are placed in those circumstances, I'm telling you, they're going to melt like a butter in the sun. Because what they did to us, they themselves cannot tolerate it. And they won't be able to. And this is why they want to run now. They can run, but they can't hide. They want to move states. I'm telling you, you're going to see people around you moving and all these U-Haul truck people try to get out of Dodge, disassociate themselves from certain people. Oh, she, me, I don't know them, but the damage is already done. People are realizing that you're powerful, you are fearless, you're not people pleasing. For a lot of you, whether you're man or woman, you're in your divine masculine energy. And you're realizing when you walk away, that's when God walk in. Look, you are the gift. You are the gift. It's over now. Wow, divine feminine. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, a lot of people wanted to confuse love with lust. It's like, are you kidding me? You will fear no evil. The truth is, You are staying true to yourself. And this is why you're your own best friend. Because when you can't rely on other people to be honest to you, you are honest with yourself. And so you know when to Kenny Rogers them, when to hold them, fold them, when to walk away, and when to run. Keep shining, my friends. Until next time, God bless.